Okay, so we're going to review the different type of transformations that we talked about, right? So we talked about 5 different ones. So my first one is f of x plus k. So sometimes we'll see it as plus b, but an example of that would be something like if I have g of x, which is my new function, is equal to f of x plus 2, right? So that plus 2 is going to go ahead and shift it up. And if I want to see visually what that looks like, remember we're going to always graph our parent function first. So f of x equals x, right? That's always our starting point. And then again, we can see when we do g of x is equal to our original function plus 2. Okay, we can see that it simply got moved up 2. And then on the other hand, if I have g of x is equal to f of x minus 2, right? So we know if we have that minus a number, we know that it's going to move it down 2. So again, seeing visually on the graph, again, I'm going to start with f of x equals x, and then it's just going to be moved down 2, right? So specifically looking at the y-intercept, my y-intercept went from 0, 0 to 0, negative 2, right? So again, just got moved down 2. And then the other type of transformation that we talked about is the change in steepness. So if I have a number in front of my x that is greater than 1, so let's say 2 f of x, okay, we know that my graph is going to get steeper. So again, I have my f of x equals f as the beginning, and then I'm going to go ahead and graph 2 f of x. Okay, so a good way of looking at in steepness is if as it's moving, okay, if it's gonna go ahead and get closer to the y-axis, then we know that it's going to get steeper. On the other hand, if I have a number that is in front of my f of x, but it is between 0 and 1, so something like 1/2 f of x, right? So if I have, let me graph k of x, right? Just renaming it, is equal to 1/2 f of x, right? So again, just taking my original function. So notice in this case, right, it got closer to the x-axis, so we call that less steep. Okay, so kind of being able to visualize it. And then the last transformation that we talked about is what does that negative do? So if I put a negative in front of my f of x, okay, what does that do? Okay, well, notice it's just going to flip it. So a big misconception is that if I have something like negative 2, that it somehow is less steep, right? But remember that negative, that's actually 2 different transformations. The negative is going to flip it, and then the 2 is going to make it steeper.